Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. Now, today we're going to be talking about something a lot of people have been asking me, mainly on streams, and basically that's how long do you think Nikke has, or how long is Nikke going to last, basically, right? If you guys don't know, they've been having a boatload of games shutting down recently, and I mean a boatload of games shutting down recently, so definitely keep that in mind, right? But I feel like Nikke is a game that will not shut down for a long time, right? Obviously, what shuts down a game is how much money they make. I don't know if their player base matters in a sense, because let's say the community or the game only has like 100 active players, but that 100 active players can rack up about 10 million monthly revenue, right? Will the game shut down? Probably not, because they're making money at the end of the day, right? These are all free games, so at the end of the day they have to make money somehow, right? So if you look at this like revenue chart here, you can see games like Revived Witch making 20,000 a month. It's shut down, or it's shutting down, but making 20K a month is not crazy. Especially for a company, right? For a company making 20K, for a regular human, that's crazy. But for a company that spent more money, way more than 20K, like on the game, probably just on the update, I don't know. It's That's a bit crazy. So if you look at Nikke up here, it says Nikke averaged 28 million last month and then 28 million this month. Now you got to remember this is based on Sensor Tower. So realistically, Nikke's probably still averaging $40 million a month, and the reason why is because this is only on mobile and mobile, right? Android and iOS. And obviously, majority of the players now spend on the PC version, so these numbers are just from just mobile, right? Which is still a bit crazy. 28 million on just mobile alone. And majority of the people are playing on PC now. You can imagine how much money Nikke made, right? Right, you can kind of take these other games for an example. Like Genshin is on everything, right? Mobile, PC thing as well. But if this is just on mobile, that means Genshin is making 47 million on mobile alone. Which is crazy. Obviously, like Genshin is a very popular game, right? Regardless, it probably makes one of the most amounts. It's probably one of the top earning games, I want to say, of all time. I don't know if it's if it's in top 10, but it's definitely made a lot of money since release. Right, so a lot of these games, like I don't think Nikke will shut down just because they average around $40 million a month, which is reckless, right? I never thought a game like Nikke would make that much money a month, especially since it's Nikke, right? Like I don't want to say especially since it's Nikke, but like Nikke is not a game where it's like you could spend your entire day on, right? It's not. It's a game where, especially when you're in endgame, you're really only able to spend an hour on the game, right? An hour, right? So for it to make that much money over games that I know you can do a lot more in, like Epic 7, you could do a lot more in. I'm sure Tower of Fantasy, you could do a lot more in. Genshin Impact, well, Genshin's making more, but like these games down here, there's some games down here you could Counter side, I think you can do a bit more in. Punishing Grey Raven, not too sure. Right, but a lot of these games you could probably do a lot more in, and they're still spending on this game. And it's like you got to remember this is March, right? So March they only had what, like the Chainsaw Man collab, and then Biscuit. Like the Chainsaw Man collab, obviously, but that I think that also went into February, right? Because Chainsaw collab happened February 22nd, right? And then Biscuit as well. That wasn't a hype character. Like Biscuit wasn't a character people were even gonna summon on, right? She wasn't like a must summon type character. Right? I mean, yeah. So it's the fact that they're making this much is what's mind boggling to me, right? To be fair, they did drop a pack that I think a lot of whales did pick up, and it was basically you guarantee got a manufacturing piece. I think you got to select it too. You got to select a manufacturing piece. Right, for any type of manufacturing company, and that was very big because a lot of whales do not have the headpiece for Modernia or Scarlet. So for $100 they can get that headpiece, then they're gonna buy it, right? And I think a lot of people did buy it. Surprisingly, I thought it was a scam, but a lot of people did buy it. So I don't think Nikke is gonna go anywhere. I think Nikke will be here for a long time for, again, obvious reasons. It makes a lot of money. And one thing about Nikke, it's its own IP. So it's not like other games that are under an IP that's already existing. Like, it's kind of like Genshin Impact is a game that has its own IP as well, right? And then also, like, but games like Dokkan Battle does fine all the time, right? Seven Deadly Sins, Grand Cross, or even any One Piece or Naruto games, right? Those are games where they have characters set, right? They can't make a whole new character. They can make a different version of a character that's already there, but they cannot make a whole new character. Nikke could make all the characters they want under the sun because it's their own IP, right? It's not based on a manga or a show or anything like that. It's their own IP. They can make whatever character they want, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. And then again, like I said before, they make a lot of money. So Nikke will probably be here for years and years and years to come, especially if they're going to keep averaging 40 million for a game like this. Is kind of wild, like I said before, right? I think they're still going to average around 40 million because that's what they've been doing so far. I think November on release, they made like 74 million. Then December, they made 40 million. January, they made 40 million plus. And in February, they made 28 million, but then again, PC Port was here halfway through, so keep that in mind. And in March, they also made 28 million on mobile alone. February February is like, yeah, this is all mobile regardless, right? This is all mobile regardless. So regardless, people still went to the PC port. So I want to say half, if not a bit, went to the PC and stuff. Now spend on the PC, right? So keep that in mind, bro. I think Nikke will do fine. It's the game you should get in. You don't have to worry about it shutting down. I know, like I said before, a lot of games are shut. I've seen like Guitar Rock. He dropped a video yesterday, or I think it was yesterday. I watched it. It was like all the games shutting down, and I was watching. I was like, yo, how much games are shutting down? Like, there was like, I think he went over like 20 games, and they all said May, all April. They either just shut down or all May. I'm like, wow, a lot of games shut down, right? And then his reasoning or when he was explaining it, basically the reason was either they don't make money, right? Or their game is just not good, or they just don't make money, right? But you're not going to make money if your game is not good at the end of the day. So it's as simple as that, right? It's definitely as simple as that. You guys definitely let me know in the comments down below how much money you think Nikke will, or not money, how long do you think Nikke will survive, right? I think it's been doing a great job already for 4 months, right? Especially this last month in March, being kind of a dead month with just Biscuit, and then I guess like the little bit of Chainsaw Man collab we had. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it's kind of insane that they're still making that kind of number, like that number. Even if it is just mobile, right? That's a bit insane, especially since majority of people play on PC. With just Biscuit and then I guess like a bit of the Chainsaw Man collab is kind of wild. So you guys let me know what you think. It's going to be your boy Zxous. I'm out. Later. Peace. Like I said, I think they're going to survive for a long time.